2013 has no doubt been one of the most exciting years for the sport of boxing, where we the fans have been lucky enough to witness record-breaking bouts and undefeated legacies destroyed. Join me as I go through my top 5 boxing fights of the year 2013. You can let me know your thoughts via Twitter, and also you can leave your comments below. Number 5, Timothy Bradley versus Juan Manuel Marquez. I was on Marquez's corner for this fight, especially after the Pacquiao knockout, so it was unfortunate to see him lose. But then this really was more of a chance for Bradley to prove himself, especially after the controversial victory over Pacquiao. Even though I wasn't convinced that he did enough to win that fight, so I really looked to judge him by this one, especially after Marquez convincingly knocked out Pacquiao. So this bout definitely didn't disappoint, apart from the obvious fact that Marquez lost. He was beaten by a younger, stronger, quicker fighter who's definitely at his peak. Bradley was impressive with his movement, counter-punching and accuracy. So, still undefeated. Gotta say, hats off, Timothy Bradley. Number 4, Danny Garcia versus Matthysse and Judah. I really hated Garcia. Well, actually, let me rephrase that. I really disliked him, but it was mainly because of his dad. I'm a huge fan of Acorn, so it was back then when they fought him. He was such a cocky prick, and it just, but then he knocked him out. So that was like, you know, like respect where respect is due, I guess. But now I feel he's definitely proved himself, especially after impressive wins against Judah and Matthysse. Danny Garcia was another fighter that proved himself, had a great year, and remains undefeated. Still not a fan of his dad because he comes across as such an arsehole. But proud dad and all that, you gotta respect what he's done for his son. But Danny, on the other hand, I've actually realised he's a pretty cool dude. So I've got a lot more respect for him now, and I'm now a fan, so definitely look forward to more of his fights in 2014. Floyd Mayweather versus Robert Guerrero and Saul Canelo Alvarez. Now, of course, this guy needs no introduction. In fact, his schooling of Guerrero and Canelo were easily going to be my number 1 fights for the year. But I thought, you know what, he's always number 1, so I'll cut him some slack. Give other guys a chance. What more can I say about his fights? He comes out of jail, shows no rust, and whoops Guerrero's ass. But actually, I really like Guerrero. I mean, in my opinion, I think he fought much better and gave Mayweather a tougher test than Canelo did. Canelo, on the other hand, was boasted as the younger, more brash, skilled, stronger fighter in the build-up to the fight. The funniest thing for me was how Golden Boy Oscar De La Hoya kept going on about how he had the blueprint to beating Mayweather and he gave it to Canelo. Well, 45-0. No draws, no losses. With a record-breaking attendance at the weigh-in, the richest pay-per-view event in history. Mayweather versus Pacquiao surely has to happen in 2014. Carl Froch versus George Groves. This for me was easily one of the most brutal fights of the year. Pure grudge between these guys. There was definitely no love lost between them. You can tell Groves really wanted to hurt him, but Froch wasn't going to sit back and take a beating. So boy, was it war. Unfortunately, the bloody ref ruined the fight. I'm a Froch fan, but I've got to be honest, Groves was definitely the dominant fighter. He clearly had the edge on the scorecards, and that definitely wasn't a stoppage. He put Froch in worse conditions at different stages of the fight. I mean, he knocked him down in the first round. I just can't understand why anyone would stop the fight. So it's quite obvious there has to be a rematch in 2014. And my number 1 fight, Adrian Broner versus Marcos Rene Maidana. Oh man, where do I start with this one? We all know how we feel about Adrian Broner. Mayweather wannabe, overrated, attention-seeking prick. So we've all just been waiting and praying for this day. Praise the Lord for Marcos Rene Maidana. Adrian Broner finally got his ass whooped. Not once, but twice his ass hit the canvas. Oh man, I cannot explain the satisfaction seeing those spaghetti legs dangle around the ring. Nothing is sweeter than seeing a proud ass dopehead get humbled in the ring. The fact that he started to dance around the ring and try to take the piss early on, I freaking loved it when Maidana did it back to him and then knocked his ass down. You know what, I was actually beginning to warm up to him a little bit during the pre-fight All Access show. They showed a bit of a calmer, nicer-ish side to him. But then he goes in the ring and starts acting like a twat. I was like, please Maidana, knock this guy out. You can't call yourself an athlete or a sportsman, then you binge drink, act like a dirkhead, release a sex tape, and then expect to be respected as the best in the world. There really is a huge difference between being cocky and being confident. Mayweather is pure confidence. Broner, you is a cock. Yeah, obviously sometimes Mayweather comes across as cocky, but he clearly does it for fight promos. But then he always draws a line. There's a limit to it. I mean, he always shows respect to his opponents after every fight. But then again, when you are the pound for pound king of boxing, with countless championship belts and titles, with 45 straight victories over 10 years of boxing, surely you're going to be allowed to be a little bit cocky. There's only ever going to be one Mayweather. The sooner you realize that, Broner, the better. It's a bit late now with that one in your record anyway. So there it is, my top 5 fights for 2013. As always, I'd like to know your thoughts, so comment below, tweet at DiZzeL29, hashtag DiZzel's top 5. Like the video, share it, and subscribe for more. Peace. Different, which he definitely achieved, because it's totally different to what he normally does. But I just, you know, it's a bit like Timberland and Timberlake, you know, just that partnership with Dre is just